Hi, I'm Jim with Pour the Juice, and in today's video, I want to talk about cognac finished whiskey and what that may taste like. And this is going to be, the second or third in the line of flavored whiskeys and what those or finished whiskeys and what those finished whiskeys taste like. Um, and I think it's a semi-important topic for people who are new to whiskey and want to spend their money correctly. When I first started getting into whiskey, I stayed away from finishes. I heard bad things about it. I heard finishing whiskey ruins it, and there's no such thing as a good finished whiskey. And then I had some great ones. So um, I want to share as much knowledge as I can on the subject, and hopefully, I can spread some of my knowledge around about flavor profiles that you can expect from different finishes. And if they sound good to you, you'll feel more confident in spending your money on those finished whiskeys. This one happens to be a cognac cognac cask finish out of RY3 rye. I don't know how to pronounce it. This is a store pick from Dave Co. out in Colorado. This is my first RY3 product that I've ever tried as well. But before we get there, I think it's important to talk about cognac itself. If you want to know what a cognac finish whiskey is going to taste like, you should have some idea of what cognac is. Um, for those who don't know, cognac is a brandy. Um, it's a brandy that's been aged in France in French oak casks. And that aging can be from, I don't know, 2 years and up, I believe. I'm not an expert on cognac, not an expert on whiskey, to be honest with you. But so going off of that, let's think about it. Cognac is a brandy, which means it's made from grapes. As far as I know, it has to be made from grapes if it's brandy. Maybe I'm wrong. Um, but made from grapes. So you may get some wine influence here. Cognac is aged in French oak casks. And if you want to know what French oak tastes like, I very highly suggest trying out Maker's Mark 46, especially their cask strength. That is one of my favorite whiskeys on the market. And it's a finish that I'll talk about one day. But let's dive into it. French oak to me, you get a lot of chocolate, is what I was getting at. I started thinking about the whiskey and went blank. With French oak, you get a lot of chocolate, almost as if it's malty. That's what I get, at least, off French oak, like a milk chocolate. With this, it's going to be a little more difficult. From the rye spice itself, it gets in the way a little bit. But I do get a little grapiness. That could be from the cognac. Now, this doesn't say how long the cognac or the cognac that was in the barrel that this whiskey was finished in had been aged, which I think is important. Essentially, that means that this whiskey was aged in a French oak cask that also had brandy in it. And I do. I get chocolate heavy on this. I don't know if it's milk chocolate, but To me, this is all chocolate and rye spice. A little milk chocolate, a little dark chocolate in there. You do get some bitterness, not much fruit. Um, if this has any grape influence from the brandy, I'm not picking too much of it up. Maybe a tiny bit. So I think that's what your expectations should be going into a cognac finished whiskey. I think you should be expecting chocolate and maybe a little bit of fruit, depending on the whiskey that's aged. This being a rye whiskey, I'm getting a lot of chocolate, a lot of rye spice, a lot of baking spice. It's very pleasant. I enjoy this a lot. But if you try the Maker's Mark 46 cask strength, that's aged in French oak staves, or finished in them at least. It'll get you a similar profile. I enjoy that one quite a bit more. It's a little bit fruitier, a little bit more sweet. This is definitely a fall winter whiskey, and it's winter, and I enjoy it. I enjoy most whiskeys. That's all I got for cognac finishes. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Please leave a comment about what other finishes you'd like me to make videos on next. Or any other videos. Doesn't have to be about finished whiskey. It could be about anything. Thank you. Cheers.